Hello, welcome to my podcast. I am your host, Cynthia Karin, and today I am going to be talking about my favorite subjects of all time, the power of water. This is episode 4. Thank you for those joining in. I want to bring up my last episode just in case for some that did not get a chance to hear it. On my last episode, I'm talking about biohacking and the foundation, how to slow your process down. As we all know, we cannot change chronic aging. Life goes on and time passes, and that's what it is. However, we have complete control of biological aging. And this is where things get juicy, only because we know we can take control. And one of the things that I mentioned on the last episode was to learn your biology, meaning learn about your blood work. And you can do so by getting regular blood work done at your primary doctor, physician's office, or any other doctor that you use. However, I highly recommend it to get yourself a live blood analysis because it is real time. You get to see what's going on in your body and how to fix things, how to prevent things, what to do to prevent things. It would also tell you if your body is dehydrated, if it has a high pH level, and so on and so forth. And why do I bring this up? Because this is really essential and important. I don't know how many people are out there talking about the pH level and water and how important it is to maintain hydrated. But if there is people talking about it, hooray to them. And I want to hear what they have to say because I totally agree. You need to stay hydrated. However, I want to talk about it because for me, it has been a huge part of my life. I love water. I only mainly drink water. It's hard for me to drink anything else. And I am a huge advocate for water because I feel like water has helped maintain my body weight and my skin health and my body healthy. I want to just start by saying that water can help reverse signs of aging, or and maybe that's really like far-fetched for me to say, but I believe this. But one thing for sure is that if you're drinking an adequate amount of water for your body, then you'll definitely be alkalized and you will be healthy. Your pH level will be at its regular and you will be well balanced and your body will be healthy. So this is really important for you to understand. It's not something that I'm making up or just talking out of the wind. It is something that I live by and I learned about and I again will advocate about it. Now, we all know that all life on this planet thrives on water. The essence of the human race or human being is water. We begin our life in our mother's womb, and that is like 96% water. As babies, once we're born, we retain about 80% of that water in our bodies. That percentage declines or drops, but it remains stable as an adult. It's really interesting though, because men actually retain more water than women, but the average as an adult, we have about 70% in average men holding more water than women. So they might have 75% or 80%, depending on their size. Interesting. However, that doesn't mean that we need less water. It means that we should, as women, drink more water because we definitely need the water. Water is life. And like I mentioned, everything on this planet, all living organism, from the plant, from the insects, from all things that we can't even see with our eyes, to like the trees, the plant, the medicine, us, we thrive, we survive. Our life depends on water. That's it. All of the living organism here depends on water for its survival. Our bones are made of water, our heart, lungs, kidneys, brain. I think we all know this, right? So, knowing that we are based water or water based, and sometimes I think backwards, um, it is very important to understand that. And I just, I guess, want to emphasize how important water is. So, we can actually live without food for 2 or 3 months. Some people can even push that number. Maybe I haven't looked to see whose record is up there for the longest without eating solid foods or any foods. But it is known that I guess it in some individuals they can go up to 3 months without food and still be alive. However, we as humans cannot go more than 3 days without water. That would be detrimental. That may even cause death. So water is obviously super crucial for us. Now another thing is statistics, water consumption. How much water are people really drinking? And this is really interesting because a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I speak to, they think that they drink enough water. They claim that they're always hydrated and they claim that they're so, healthy and they drink a lot of water. But the reality is that based on statistics, now I don't know if this is on a global scale or just on a US scale, but based on statistics, they say an average person drinks about 2.5 to 3.5 cups of water daily. That's not a lot, guys. Some people are like 200 pounds. Some people are more than that. Let's, for argument's sake, say they're drinking 4 glasses of water. That is definitely not enough. I mentioned a book on my last episode called The pH Miracle by Robert O. Young. And his recommendation for a healthy body, an alkalized body, is for every 40 pounds you have in your body, you should be drinking a liter of water. That's it, guys. I'm 100. Sometimes I fluctuate from 103 to 98, 100, whatever. I tend to drink about 3 liters a day, and sometimes I push it for 4 liters. Obviously, if I'm in a warm place, I tend to drink a lot of water. And when I do that, when I raise the amount of water I drink, I always lose more weight, which I kind of like. I'm not going to lie. You can never be too skinny, guys. Anyway, so the statistics says that in general, people have an average of like 2.5, 3.5 cups of water daily. That leaves 80% of the population chronically dehydrated. Guys, you're gonna be walking around like little prunes. Nobody wants that. You need to get hydrated, not dehydrated. Now, I know you guys know this, and I'm going to just go ahead and brush through all the benefits about drinking water. Besides the most important, as I mentioned, it regulates our pH level. But I do want to say that the quality of water is important, and that I'll get to in a minute. But we definitely need to regulate our pH level so we can maintain a healthy body and be at our healthy weight. So let's talk about it. What are the benefits? Besides regulating our pH level and keeping us alkalized, we will have beautiful, supple, hydrated skin. Everybody wants that. And in fact, if you like, if you have issues with food and you notice that you break out in certain foods, and if you drink a lot of water, it helps clear up your skin. For some people, it may take days. And some people like myself, let's say if I have naughty chocolate, which I normally don't. I try to have cacao or dark chocolate, 70% raw, vegan, all that stuff. But when I do eat naughty chocolate and I break out, I drink water the whole day. Like I double the amount of water I normally drink. And by the end of the night, my skin is normal. So, water can help clear up your skin. Besides that, water also helps or aids flushing toxins from your body. Who doesn't want that? Water also aids or helps with digestion. We want that. Water also helps lubricate your joints. And not to mention, it boosts your energy levels, where that adds, um, I guess it helps with weight loss and it helps with your performance. So if you're out there running, or if you're cycling, or you're a cyclist, or you're just working out, doing yoga, whatever, it just really helps. It boosts your performance level, and it boosts your energy level. I mean, if you notice, if you're really tired and you start drinking a lot of water, all of a sudden you get like a robust of energy. Like you just want to run around and start moving around. It happens to me in the morning when I'm kind of like sluggish. I'll drink a nice 8 ounce glass of water, or maybe half a liter of water, and I feel more energetic and I start my day this way. Besides it helping with boosting your energy and your performance, it also makes minerals and nutrients more accessible from foods into your body. And it also prevents hangovers and kidney damage, especially if you're drinking. I don't drink alcohol, so that's not going to be my issue. But for those that love to drink, and I know a lot of little lushes out there, a lot of my friends are lushes, and that's okay. I'm not judging you. Do what you do, but get your water game up, friends. Do it. Do it for yourself. You all ask me, what is it that I do? And I know you want to hear my Fraxel stories and which serums I love using. All of that is going to be great. And I'm going to share a couple as I go along. But I want you guys to work on your foundation like I did. If you manage these little simple things and you start adjusting your body and you start adjusting your life, like little by little, it's going to be so normal. That's it. You're going to enjoy the adjustments that you're making for yourself, for your benefit. I wouldn't suggest drinking a lot of alcohol because it's like poison, but you didn't hear it from me. Anyway, so what are the risks? Okay, I think we all know what the benefits are, but do you guys know the risk besides, developing kidney stones? Sometimes, you know how you can tell if you're dehydrated is by brain fog. If you notice that you're having a lot of brain fog, I mean, this does also happens when you get older. So you gotta make the distinction. But, a lot of people do get brain fog when they're dehydrated, or they feel fatigue or dizziness. But a true tell sign, besides, I guess, kidney stones, is dry skin. If you're noticing your skin is drying quite a lot on all over your body and especially your face, drink more water. Don't start putting lube on your face, and don't think it's the lack of hyaluronic acid or serums with peptides or anything. I mean, of course, they do work. And of course, I'm going to say do it, use it. I do. And I have my favorite brands, but it's all about inside out. Okay, guys. Also, another tell all sign is dry lips, obviously being thirsty, or when you go to the toilet and your urine is super yellow and maybe even strong smell. The strong smell could be an indication of the food you're eating too. But normally, if your urine is dark and it has a strong smell, that means that you are absolutely dehydrated and you need to definitely drink a lot more water. Now, if you're eating a lot of asparagus, that does change the pH. It makes your urine smell a little bit, and it does darken your urine. There's certain foods that will darken your urine. But you would know if you're dehydrated or not. You will know how many cups of water you drink. Obviously, if you're 200 pounds, you need to drink a lot more than 2 cups of water. In fact, like I mentioned, the book that I recommended in my last episode is called The pH Miracle by Robert O. Young. He emphasizes on drinking for every 40 pounds, 1 liter. That will help you adjust your pH level and regulate it. So if you're 200 pounds, you obviously 2 cups of water or 3 cups of water is not doing it for you, honey. Now, it's very important, like I mentioned a little earlier, that the quality of water is important and crucial. And this is really something that you all need to pay attention to. Now, I know that I'm from New York and we have a lot of people that come out here or they live here and they really proudly say how New York tap water is amazing. I am not a huge advocate of tap water anywhere around the world anyway. Even my filter for my shower, I've been using a filter in my shower since I think I was maybe 25 years old. I've always used a filter because like the water is contaminated and I don't want that kind of contamination on my skin. I don't want to break out. So I even use a filter on my water, on my shower head, and on the bottom when I'm taking a bath. I use a filter. And I have a filter in my sink. And even with that, I still buy bottled water. It I only do that when I need to change my filter though. Like right now, I currently need to change my filter. I have been needing to change my filter for several months now, and I've been super lazy about it. But let's talk about testing your water. Besides, there are strips that you can buy in Amazon to test the quality of water, to test your pH level, and to test bottled water because there are three different strips. The one to test water, whether it's your tap water or the water you're drinking out of a bottle, they're just, I guess, basic. They're not strips, but they're water ionizer pH level test kit that you can Google and find, and very likely you'll find it online than in a store. For me, there's a particular store that is really super health conscious and offers all of these different water testers. You may be able to find something at like a health food store near you. However, it's much easier if you look online and maybe even find it on Amazon. So there are also the pH strips that you can use on for your saliva or urine to test your own pH level. The brand that I like to use, which it really doesn't matter, I think they all work the same. That one tests the saliva and your urine. And then there is that water ionizer that I said. And the other one that's so important is the kit that actually tests the quality of the water. Now, we know that by law in all major cities and countries, it is a law to have your pH level regulated at 7 or 7.5. I think in London I tested it and it was at 7.5, but in the US I think it's at 7, and that's normal. That's average. This is healthy water. This is healthy pH water. That doesn't mean that it is clean water. And I want you guys to be aware of that because the quality of water that you're putting into your body is super important. If you're putting pardon, if you're putting acidic water into your body, that is just as bad as drinking poison, I guess. It's going to do more harm than good. You want to make sure that it is clean and it's high pH. I want to give you another statistic, and I was personally doing the research and I was a little bit surprised. If not, I was a bit shocked. When you're testing the water, the common chemicals found in the water is a lot of contaminants, such as pesticides and industrial runoff. Also, toxic metals. You think you would get metals and mercury out of fish. I've never had an accumulation of mercury or metals eating fish, and that's my diet. But there's a big chance that you can get it by drinking water. And there's also arsenic in the water, not to mention chlorine and fluoride. There's other stuff that we don't even know. They say that in the statistic that I ran into, and I'm going to share on the link below my bio, they said about 45% of the water, or about 45, is contaminated in the water, is estimated. And it's going to have more than one type of chemical, unknown chemical, or maybe even known chemical or substances in the water. So it's so crucial. It's so crucial to test your water. What kind of quality of water are you consuming? Same with water in a bottle. Like I've tested some water in a bottle and their pH level is at 6. That's my least concerned because what if the quality, anyways, of the water has some sort of contamination? So not only are you drinking acidic water, or maybe five, I've tested one that was yellow, and that means it's worse than tap water. It's kind of like urine water. Anyway, so the water is this low pH and then it has contamination. No, you don't want that. It's like drinking poison. The more your body accumulates, later on you're going to have an issue. And do you want that? Is that the purpose? No. Water is life. Unfortunately, a lot of people have not been caring for the water and has been easily polluting the water and resources that we have. But there are things to prevent and also to clean. So we have some problem solvers, and that's really what we want to focus on, is the positive, not the negative. But anyway, just so you know that even as we speak, every 8 seconds a child dies from water related diseases. So what is that saying to you? A lot of the water, okay, so in some of these places we're talking about places that really don't have water filtration and doesn't have or access to clean water. But, in some places in America too, there's not any clean water, or around the world. Again, a lot of the water is contaminated. So I'm not telling you this so you can get scared. It's just so you can be aware. Test your water. If you have proper filtration in your kitchen, under your kitchen sink, at least four types of filtration, then you're pretty good. You're good. You're good. You're in a good zone. And or if you have, bottled water, you're testing your water, you're pretty good. So the idea is to drink a lot of water, drink a liter per 40 pounds, and make sure your pH level in that water is good and the quality of the water, it's good and it's drinkable. Now there's debate about if you should drink room temperature or cold. There's actually benefits on drinking both cold and room temperature. I prefer room temperature, especially when I wake up. I do like sometimes in the morning to cut half a lemon and pour it into my water to help alkalize my body. And sometimes I even add lemon and rosemary. Rosemary is really good for reducing inflammation, especially if I wake up a little stuffy. It helps reduce inflammation and fight off any bacteria or viruses. So if I'm a little stuffy, that's like something coming on, I'll do rosemary with lemon in my water. It also helps promote digestion, but water does this automatically. And it's known that, well, it's not known, but they say that rosemary helps improve mental clarity, helps with focus, and it reduces any anxiety and stress. So if you are under a little stress in the morning, have yourself a cup of water with lemon and rosemary, or just rosemary, and enjoy. So I do want to recommend a book. This one is a really wonderful book. But this book is called The True Power of Water: Healing and Discovering Ourselves. And it's really interesting because it's about a guy that's done research on water, and by freezing it and seeing the quality of water, he too raises concern about the quality of water that we are consuming, and doesn't really talk too much about the pH level, but the quality of water. And what's really interesting is how we speak to the water, the water's environments. And I like this because it also is connected to us because we're made of water. We're made of 70% water. So obviously it's related. So I'm going to give you a little pro tip. So I want you to pick up this book, read it, get familiar with it. It's a really interesting book. And I hope it motivates you to do what I'm going to just show you right now. Since that book, I was introduced to that book maybe about 20, 25 years ago. When I wake up, especially if I wake up with a lot in my head, and right before I go to bed, I always make sure I drink a lot of water, especially a glass of water. But I start my day with a glass of water, 8 ounce or half a liter, and the same going to bed. I like to sing to my water, or I like to praise my water. I like to say thank you to my water. I like to give my water affirmations. or do affirmations for my water, and or sometimes I use my singing bowl because the frequencies helps the water. Just like your body, frequencies and music, all of this helps raise your vibrations. So I kind of do this for my water because I want to raise the vibrations of the water, and the water is going inside me, so it's replenishing me. So because I love water so much, I always tend to, in the morning, it's like a little ritual. So a lot of people have their own ritual. I don't answer my phone. I don't even look at my phone for maybe the first 3 hours in the morning, unless if I had to. But I take that time to meditate, work out, and do my water ritual. And I will sing to it. I'll say thank you. I'll say thank you. I love you. Thank you for keeping me so healthy. Thank you for keeping me so vibrant, so energetic, so youthful. Thank you for the love. Thank you for always showing me, teaching me. Thank you. Because as we know, water is our biggest teacher. Water is beautiful. Water is life. You are the reflection of water, and water is the reflection of you, and you are one. So, yeah. With that said, I am closing this. I hope whatever I shared with you was informative, positive, and you can take a bit off of this and see what you can do. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. If not, email me. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer and send you my feedback. So until the next one, guys, this was The Power of Water. And I guess I will be speaking to you next. Enjoy. And drink your water, guys. Get that water going. Get it on the move. Yeah. Ciao.